Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about a book called You Are the Placebo.
Oh, yeah. I've heard good things about this one.
Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was written by Dr. Joe Dispenza,
Okay.
and it's all about the mind-body connection.
Interesting.
And this is something we've talked about a little bit before on the show.
Uh-huh.
But this is a really interesting book
Yeah.
that dives into a lot of the science behind
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah.
what are your initial thoughts when you hear about this concept of the placebo effect?
The placebo effect, it's one of those things that's kind of like always fascinated me.
Yeah.
It's like, how can something that really has no like inherent power
Right.
actually lead to real changes
Right.
in people's bodies?
Yeah.
It's like this weird scientific mystery almost.
Yeah, it's so strange. And that's exactly what Dispenza kind of tackles.
Okay.
This book is he's like, how is this possible? That someone could take a sugar pill
Right.
and genuinely see an improvement in their health.
Yeah, like what's going on in their brains?
Yeah, and one of the things he points to is the role of our brain chemistry,
Okay.
like specifically neurotransmitters.
Oh, okay. I could see how that would.
So when we believe
Yeah.
we're getting a treatment that's going to help us,
Right.
our brains can actually start producing
Okay.
these chemicals like endorphins,
Yeah.
dopamine, things that have a real physiological effect.
Interesting. So it's not just like mind over matter.
Right. It's not just like
Instead of
a
thinking,
real chemical process.
there's an actual biological reaction happening.
Yeah.
In response to what we believe.
That's wild.
Yeah. So it's pretty amazing. And he cites all this research too.
Oh, yeah.
Like he talks about studies done on Parkinson's patients.
Oh, wow.
Where they gave some patients a placebo.
Okay.
And those patients actually showed significant improvement
Really?
in their motor functions.
Just because they thought they were getting the real medication.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so their brains were producing dopamine.
Wow.
Simply because they believed it would help them.
So like the expectation itself is enough to trigger these changes.
It seems that way.
Wow.
It's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah, that's really powerful.
But then it makes you think about the flip side.
Oh, yeah.
What about when our expectations are negative?
Right.
You know what happens then?
That's the nocebo effect, right?
Exactly, the nocebo effect.
Where like negative expectations lead to...
To negative outcomes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even if someone's given a placebo,
Right.
if they believe it's going to harm them,
Uh-huh.
they can actually experience negative side effects.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's really highlighting how powerful this connection
Yeah.
between our mind and body is.
So it's like a double-edged sword.
Exactly.
It can work for you or against you,
It really is a double-edged sword,
depending on
depending on your beliefs.
what you believe. Yeah.
So like a hypochondriac, someone who's constantly worried
Right.
about getting sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Could they actually be making themselves more vulnerable?
Well, based on what we're talking about,
Yeah.
it kind of seems like it's possible.
It's possible, right? Because they're essentially
It's putting themselves in that negative
they're putting themselves in that negative state
mindset and
priming their body
their body's responding accordingly.
for illness.
Wow. It's really makes you think about how much power we have
Right.
over our own well-being.
Yeah, like what other things are we capable of influencing just through
Yeah.
this power of belief?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, like what are the limits of this?
And that's what Dispenza is really trying to get us to think about.
Okay.
In this book, he argues that our perception
Okay.
of the world around us is directly impacting our health.
Okay.
So if we're constantly perceiving threats, like if we're stressed out all the time,
No.
if we're in this fight or flight mode,
Right.
our bodies are going to be in a constant state of stress,
Okay.
right? And that's not good for us long term.
No.
But he says if we can shift our perception
Okay.
to one of safety and support,
Okay.
if we can create that kind of environment for ourselves,
Okay.
our bodies can actually relax,
Makes sense.
heal, and thrive.
So it's not just about thinking happy thoughts.
It's not just about thinking happy thoughts. It's about fundamentally changing how we view
Yeah.
the world around us.
Like changing our whole outlook.
Yeah, our whole outlook on life.
It's pretty deep.
Yeah, and that's where things get even more interesting.
Oh, okay. I like where this is going.
Because he connects this idea of perception
Yeah.
to the concept of conditioning.
Conditioning. Yeah.
Yeah, so he talks about how, like, Pavlov's dogs,
Okay.
our brains become conditioned
Okay.
to expect certain outcomes based on repeated experiences.
Right.
So those expectations, those patterns that we've kind of ingrained in our neural pathways,
Uh-huh.
they can actually start to manifest
Oh, wow.
physically.
So, like, if you're constantly expecting bad things to happen,
Yeah.
your body might actually start preparing for those bad things,
Even
even if they're not real.
if they're not guaranteed to happen.
That's kind of scary.
It is kind of scary, right?
Yeah.
But
Also means
it also means that
we can change it.
we can change those patterns
Right. Like, we have the power to...
by consciously shifting
Yeah.
our thoughts and beliefs.
Wow.
We can reprogram our brains.
So we're not just victims of our past experiences.
No.
We can actually shape our future
We can shape our future
through our thoughts.
through our thoughts.
That's pretty empowering.
It is empowering.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've established that our beliefs
Right.
have a powerful impact on our physical well-being.
Yeah.
Even down to like the level of our neurotransmitters.
Yeah.
But how does that translate into actual healing?
Good question.
Like what kind of transformations are we talking about here?
Yeah, like what can people actually achieve with this?
Yeah, what's possible?
What are the possibilities?
What are the possibilities?
I'm curious to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that. So Dispenza, he shares some pretty wild stories
Okay.
in this book
Yeah.
about people who have experienced like remarkable healings
Okay.
just through the power of belief.
So what kind of things are we talking about here?
We're talking about things like people reversing chronic pain,
Really?
overcoming like debilitating illnesses, even regenerating damaged tissues.
Wow, those are some pretty big claims.
They are.
Are we talking like miracle cures here?
I mean, some of the stories sound pretty miraculous.
Right.
But Dispenza is really careful to emphasize
Yeah.
that it's not just about reading a book and poof, you're healed.
Right?
It's an active process.
Okay.
It's a journey of self-discovery.
So it's more than just like positive thinking.
Oh, yeah, it's much deeper than that.
Okay.
He talks about moving from a state of thinking
Okay.
to a state of being.
Okay, I'm intrigued thinking versus being.
Yeah, what's the difference, right?
Yeah, what's the difference?
So when we're trapped in this state of thinking,
Okay.
our minds are constantly like churning
Okay.
through the same thoughts, worries, limiting beliefs.
So it's like we're stuck in our heads.
Exactly. Reliving the past.
Yeah, replaying old stories and just reinforcing
Yeah.
those neural pathways.
The same old pattern.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when we shift into a state of being,
Okay.
that's when we become present and aware.
Okay.
We kind of step out of that mental chatter
Yeah.
and connect with like a deeper sense of ourselves.
It's like a sense of peace.
Peace, possibility, stillness.
Okay.
And Dispenza says that's where we open ourselves up
Yeah.
to real healing.
Because in that state of presence,
Right.
we're not weighed down
Exactly.
by all that baggage.
We're free from those limitations.
From those limitations.
And that's where the techniques he talks about.
It's like meditation.
Okay.
Visualization.
Yeah.
They come into play.
Because they help us get to that state.
Exactly. They help us quiet the mind,
Okay.
cultivate awareness,
Yeah.
and start to like intentionally direct our thoughts and beliefs.
So rather than just being at the mercy
Yeah.
of these conditioned responses,
Yeah.
we're taking control.
Yeah, we're taking control of the narrative.
We're becoming conscious creators.
Yes.
Of our own reality.
Okay, so visualization, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
How does that work in this context?
So visualization, it allows us to create a vivid mental picture
Okay.
of ourselves in a healthy, thriving state.
Okay.
And by repeatedly focusing on that image,
Yeah.
we're sending powerful signals
Okay.
to our subconscious mind.
So our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference
Right. It doesn't know the difference between...
real and imagined.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it can start to translate those intentions
Okay.
into physical reality.
So it's like we're planting a seed
in our subconscious.
and nurturing it with our attention.
And our intention.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, so we've got the being state.
Uh-huh.
We've got visualization.
Right.
But how does this all tie back
Yeah, good.
to the placebo effect?
So remember how we were talking about neurotransmitters
Yeah.
and how they play a role?
Right.
When we believe
Yeah.
we're getting a treatment that's going to help us,
Okay.
when we engage in these practices,
Yeah.
like meditation, visualization,
Okay.
we're essentially hacking our own neurochemistry.
Interesting.
We're consciously inducing the release
Okay.
of those feel-good healing chemicals.
But we're creating our own internal pharmacy.
Exactly. We're tapping into our own inner healing power.
Okay. But if it were that easy,
Right.
wouldn't everybody be doing it?
Well, that's the thing. It's not always easy.
Right. What are some of the challenges?
One of the biggest challenges
Yeah.
is overcoming self-doubt.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
It's like it's easy to get caught up in those cynical voices.
Right, the inner critic.
Yeah, that tell us
Yeah.
this is too good to be true.
Yeah, or I've tried everything, nothing works for me.
Exactly.
So how do we combat that?
Dispenza emphasizes the importance of repetition
Okay.
and consistency.
So it's about building that belief.
It's about training your mind.
Okay.
Like you train a muscle.
Okay, so it takes time.
It takes time. It takes effort.
The results are worth it.
But the results can be profound.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the mindset piece,
Huh?
the techniques, the importance of consistency.
Yeah.
But there's one thing I'm still kind of curious about.
What's that?
Dr. Dispenza talks about the quantum model of reality.
Yeah.
How does that fit into all of this?
That's where things get a little more theoretical.
Okay.
And even Dispenza acknowledges
Yeah.
that we're still on the frontier
Yeah.
of understanding these concepts.
It's like bleeding edge science.
It is.
Okay.
But essentially, the quantum model suggests
Yeah.
that reality is not this fixed, solid thing, but rather it's like this field of possibilities
Okay.
that are constantly in flux.
Interesting.
And our thoughts, our beliefs, our intentions,
Yeah.
they have the power to influence which possibilities
Okay.
become our lived experience.
So it's not just about influencing our internal state.
Right.
It's about influencing the world around us.
At a fundamental level.
At a fundamental level. Okay, now we're getting deep.
If we were going down the rabbit hole.
All right, so is he saying our thoughts can literally change?
It's a mind-bending concept.
Yeah, change the fabric of reality.
That's the idea.
Okay.
But it's still a realm of ongoing exploration.
So we don't have all the answers yet.
Not yet.
But what we do know
Yeah.
is that the power of our minds is undeniable.
We see it in the placebo effect.
Right.
We see it in these stories of spontaneous remission.
Yeah.
We see it in the transformations people experience.
Right.
Through practices like meditation and visualization.
So even if we don't fully understand the science, the evidence is there.
The evidence is there.
Our minds are capable of amazing things.
They are.
And that's what makes this whole exploration so exciting.
Yeah, it really is.
Because we're just beginning to tap in.
Yeah.
This vast potential of the human mind.
Who knows what we'll discover next?
Yeah, what incredible discoveries lie ahead.
They're pretty mind-blowing to think about.
It is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So you've given our listeners a lot to chew on.
I hope so.
This idea that our thoughts and beliefs can not only influence our internal state,
Yeah.
but potentially shape the world around us.
That's a powerful concept.
It's a powerful concept.
Yeah.
But what's even more important is what we do with that knowledge.
Absolutely.
How do we take this understanding
Right.
and apply it to create positive change in our lives? That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
And I know Dr. Dispenza offers a lot of guidance in the book.
He does.
But before we dive into the practical how-to,
Yeah.
I want to make sure we've really laid the foundation.
I agree.
So we've covered the core concepts.
Yeah.
The power of belief, the role of neurotransmitters, the importance of shifting from thinking to being, the techniques that can facilitate that shift.
We've even touched on some pretty mind-bending.
We've touched on some pretty mind-bending ideas
Yeah.
about the nature of reality itself.
We've gone deep.
We've gone deep, so I think we're ready to move on
I think so too.
to the practical application.
Let's do it.
Let's empower our listeners to tap into their own internal pharmacy.
I love that.
So we'll be back shortly to dive into the practical steps you can take
Okay.
to start creating your own placebo effect and transforming your health from the inside out.
That's good.
Okay, so we're back.
Back for more.
And ready to put all this knowledge into action.
Yeah, let's get practical.
Right. We've explored all this amazing science behind the placebo effect.
Right.
How our beliefs can shape our reality.
But powerful stuff.
But now let's talk about how you can actually create your own placebo effect
Okay.
and tap into that healing power we've been discussing.
Yeah. How do we actually do this?
So it's about taking all this potential
Right.
and turning it into action.
Making it real
Yeah.
in our lives.
Now, Dispenza offers a framework,
Okay.
a set of guidelines,
Yeah.
but it's not like a rigid formula.
Right. It's not one size fits all.
It's about finding what works best for you.
It's personalized.
It's a personalized approach.
Yeah.
You're not just following a recipe.
You're experimenting.
You're experimenting. You're figuring out
Yeah.
what resonates with your own mind and body,
What feels right
what feels right.
for you.
So you're becoming an active participant
Exactly.
in your own healing journey.
You're taking control.
Okay, so where do we begin?
All right. So Dispenza highlights
Yeah.
3 core components.
3 core components. Okay.
Clear intention,
Okay.
unwavering belief,
Okay.
and a strong emotional connection.
Okay. Let's break those down.
Sounds good.
First up, clear intention.
Yeah.
What does that look like in this context?
So it's about getting crystal clear
Yeah.
on what you want to achieve.
Okay.
What specific outcome are you aiming for?
So it's not enough to just vaguely hope to feel better.
No. You need to define it.
You need to define it.
What does better actually look like?
What does better actually look like?
Feel like for you?
Okay.
Because you're essentially setting a destination for your mind and body to move towards.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've got our clear intention locked in.
Okay.
Next up, unwavering belief.
This one could be tough.
This one can be tough.
Yeah.
How do we cultivate belief?
Especially when we're dealing with a health challenge
Right.
we've been struggling with.
Yeah, for a long time.
It's a process.
Okay.
But remember, belief isn't about blind faith.
Okay.
It's about cultivating trust in your body's innate healing capacity.
So it's about shifting away
Yeah.
from that this will never get better mentality
Exactly.
and embracing the possibility that healing is possible.
Yes.
Okay, and this is where visualization
is key.
can be really helpful.
Dispenza encourages us to visualize ourselves
Okay.
already in that healed state,
Right.
feeling the joy,
Yeah.
the vitality, the freedom that comes with it.
So you're creating a new neural pathway,
You are.
a new possibility.
Yeah.
And by focusing on that vision,
Right.
you're strengthening that pathway,
You're making it more real.
making it more likely to manifest.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
like planting a seed
Yeah.
and nurturing it with your attention.
An intention.
Yeah.
Okay, so clear intention.
Sure.
Unwavering belief.
Check.
What about that third element?
Yes. A strong emotional connection.
Okay.
This one's crucial
Why is that?
because emotions are the fuel
Okay.
that drives the placebo effect.
So it's not just about intellectually understanding these concepts.
No, it's about feeling them.
Embodying them.
Yes. Imagine the excitement,
Okay.
the gratitude,
Yeah.
the relief you would feel if you were already healed.
Oh, wow.
Tap into those emotions.
Okay.
Let them wash over you.
Yeah.
Amplify your intention.
It's like you're supercharging.
You are.
The whole process with the power of your emotions, emotions send a powerful message to your body
They do.
that this healing is real.
It's happening.
Okay, so it's all coming together now.
Yeah.
Clear intention sets the direction.
Right.
Unwavering belief provides the foundation,
The bedrock.
and strong emotions provide the energy,
The fuel.
the momentum.
Yes.
It's like a perfect recipe
It is.
for transformation.
And remember, this is an ongoing process.
So it's not a one-time thing.
No, it's a lifestyle shift.
It's about cultivating a new way of being,
A new relation
a new way of relating to your body
to your own body.
and its healing potential.
It's about recognizing
Yeah.
you have more power than you realize.
So if someone's listening to this and feeling inspired,
Ready to take the reins,
right,
create their own placebo effect.
where do they begin?
Where they begin.
Awareness.
Awareness. Okay.
Start paying attention to your thoughts,
Okay.
your beliefs, especially those related to your health.
Okay.
What stories are you telling yourself?
Yeah.
What limitations are you holding on to?
It's like shining a light on those subconscious programs that
Exactly.
are running the show.
That we're not even aware of.
Okay.
And then through practices like meditation,
Yeah.
visualization,
Yeah.
you can start to reprogram those patterns,
Okay.
replace those limiting beliefs.
With empowering ones.
Yes.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts.
It's about going deeper
It's about rewiring those deep-seated beliefs.
that are shaping our reality.
Okay.
It's about becoming conscious creators.
And it's a journey.
It is.
There will be ups and downs.
There will.
Moments of doubt.
Times when it feels like nothing's changing.
So we need to be patient.
Be patient with yourself. Trust the process.
Trust the process.
Okay.
And as you continue on this journey,
Yeah.
celebrate the small victories,
Okay.
the subtle shifts,
Yeah.
the moments where you feel a glimmer of hope.
The glimmers of hope.
Those are all signs.
Yeah. Okay.
You're moving in the right direction.
All right. So we've given our listeners a lot to think about.
Yeah.
A lot to get excited about.
I hope so.
Before we wrap up,
So.
is there one final thought you want to leave them with?
If our beliefs can truly shape our physical reality,
Yeah.
if we have the power to create our own placebos,
Right.
tap into this incredible internal pharmacy, what possibilities does that open up for you?
Wow.
What limiting beliefs are you holding on to
Yeah.
that might be impacting your health?
That's a great question for everyone to consider.
I think so.
So beautifully said.
Thank you.
And listeners, this deep dive is just the beginning.
It is.
Explore these ideas.
Yeah.
Experiment with the techniques.
See what happens.
and see what incredible transformations
You never know.
you can create.
Exactly.
You are the placebo. You have the power.
You do.
Now go out there and make your mind matter.
Make it happen.